idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make you.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 187, Life. This is the 1999 comedy film starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence about two guys who get wrongly accused of murder back in like early 1930s, I think 1932. And they're from New York, but they end up getting charged with a murder in Mississippi, and they both are sentenced to life on arguably like a chain gang kind of situation, right? And it just kind of chronicles their time there as they're getting older. What did you think of this movie, Micah? Because you hadn't seen it and I hadn't seen it before this.
This is a weird movie. Not that the movie's weird, but so the movie is not as funny as I thought it would be, but it has a whole lot of heart that I didn't think would be in it. Like It's somewhere between The Shawshank Redemption and a parody of The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you know, there were some moments where I laughed, but it wasn't like a comedy, right? But there were more dramatic scenes in it than I thought would or should be, given the number of people in this movie. And that's one thing that I think this movie does not take advantage of. There's a whole lot of talent in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
And I feel like a lot of it is kind of wasted. Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Obaba Babatunde. You all know who he is. He's that light-skinned dude who looks like a record executive. Bernie Mac, Miguel Nunez, Clarence William III, Barry Hanley, Guy Torrey is in it.
Yeah, Joe Torre's brother.
Bokeem Woodbine, Anthony Anderson, Sanaa Lathan. Like, there's a lot of Rick James. Like, there's a lot of people in this movie, and a lot of funny people. And I was expecting the movie to be like a laugh riot, and it wasn't. But I wasn't expecting the movie to like be a pretty decent drama about these two people who start off as adversaries and end up being lifelong friends.
Right.
Yeah, this is a weird movie, but I did not hate it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The funniest part of the movie was the outtakes.
Yeah, the outtakes at the end were pretty hilarious.
But yeah, I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it.
I had not seen this movie before. And I'm going to go a different way. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah.
It does have more heart than I thought it would. I would 100% agree with that. But I thought it was pretty funny. There's a couple like lines that really kind of touch on like weirdly like serious moments, which again, I would not have thought of would be in this movie. I thought it would be kind of just like straight comedy all the time. But I thought they did a pretty good job weaving an interesting story about, like you said, adversaries who become lifelong friends, and giving some like pretty good jokes. And I don't necessarily think that people were wasted. I wouldn't use that term. But there is a lot of talent in this movie. Like there are some people I guess I would have liked to see more from, but I wouldn't mark them as necessarily being wasted. I think it's really funny to have Martin Lawrence play the straight man. Like it's like when we did Girlfriends with Rod and Karen from The Black Guy Who Tips, like seeing Jada Pinkett Smith in that, like playing it totally straight for a while was like super interesting. In this, you kind of get Martin Lawrence playing the complete straight man to a point, right? And then he's got some pretty funny moments too. I was surprised to see this is the Eddie Murphy that I thought died on the set of Boomerang. Like,
This is his last R-rated movie until Dolomite Is My Name. This was it.
yeah, that was it. And it sucks because I don't think Eddie Murphy's bad in this. I think he's actually pretty goddamn funny.
I enjoyed everybody in this. I enjoyed everybody. I just wanted more from certain,
More of them. Yeah.
I just wanted more of it. But I enjoyed everybody here.
I mean, if I could point to one person who is criminally underused in this movie, but still has massive impact anytime he has a line, is Bernie Mac. Like, he doesn't have a lot of lines, but his moments are pretty fucking funny because he's so goddamn hilarious. Also, just as a side note, like watching those outtakes, I wonder, much like I wonder when I watch outtakes from a lot of comedies with a lot of huge talent in it. I don't know how these dudes ever finished this movie.
This seemed like everybody was having a blast.
Yeah, like
this.
They're just hanging around, just cutting up.
Just enjoyed this movie. Just enjoyed being around each other making this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something pretty awesome for Martin Lawrence, I have to imagine, to probably have idolized Eddie Murphy to a degree, right? Just looking at when their career started, and knowing just the trajectory of their careers, that must have been pretty amazing to work with him, co-starring with him, right? Like you're being, billed as equals in this, which was pretty dope. But I thought they had pretty good chemistry.
He was also in Boomerang.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, they already have like built-in chemistry, but I thought they played off each other really well in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dug it. I definitely understand why people really regard this as kind of being his last great movie, before Dolomite Is My Name. I get it now. I hadn't seen it. And like I said in the preview episode, I didn't see it because it came after Boomerang. And I was like, no, nice try. I don't believe you. I'm not watching Norbit or Meet Dave or no.
Yeah, it had that kind of vibe from it.
Bowfinger. No,
this was not, I don't know if this was just not marketed well or if the trailers didn't, because I went back and I watched the trailer and I'm like, why didn't I watch this movie? But I don't know if it was the trailer or just the marketing of this movie. It couldn't have been the marketing because I remember this movie existing.
Right? Absolutely. I remember actively saying I'm not seeing that. I do remember that. I'm good.
I think it was just the number of misses between 1992 and 1999 that I was just like, all right.
Yeah, nice try, Eddie.
I don't need this. This movie is an Oscar-nominated movie.
Yes, I saw that.
for makeup. They put a lot of old man makeup on these guys.
Yeah.
And hey, good for the movie, man.
Yeah, good for them. So yeah, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have to say, I laughed a lot, and felt a couple things like in my heart, where my heart is supposed to be. And I think the movie does a good job of like kind of touching on like some little things about incarceration and like what that does to you. Not just the prisoners, but in like one way, what it does to some of the people who are being your like the guards and what have you, right? Like they have that one moment.
Yeah, they develop like relationships.
Yeah, which is fucking weird, but it happens, and it's happened in real life too. So, it's not, some people, oh, that's far fetched. Look up Nelson Mandela and the guy who guarded him. It's not. It happens. It happens in real life. Absolutely.
You spend all that time with people.
You start to know them to some extent that you can, right?
That's why they refer to people as, inmate and refer to them by that number, because they know that they don't want you to know that this person has a name.
Right.
Because once you start calling that person by their name, then you realize that they're not just cheap labor, as was said in this movie. They're actual human beings, right, with lives and feelings and emotions. And then that's why
you can develop a relationship with people, right? It's the same.
Right.
To that same regard, there isn't like, it's not just bigotry, but there is a reason that in times of war, one side picks a nickname for all of the people on the other side, right? Happened in Vietnam, happens in the Middle East. We choose some sort of racial epithet. It is to dehumanize them, because when you start
to black people,
right, to black people, right, all groups. Anytime somebody wants to subjugate or dehumanize a group, the first thing you do is you take away their human individuality, and you do that by giving them an inmate number, by giving them a racist name or whatever.
By saying that their lives don't matter.
Right.
No, your life doesn't matter. Everybody's life matters. You are not important. You are not special.
Right.
Like
that's how it works. It's amazing how none of the tricks are new. None of them are new.
They don't have to be new.
No, they work.
They still work.
They work. Fucking shit works like a charm. It's like, Black Lives Matter. Oh no, all lives matter. You're like, damn it, they got us. Yeah, because once they figure out a way to rip your humanity away from you, then it's easy to hit you with a car. It's easy to think that you should be murdered by police. It's easy to throw you in jail. It's easy to just treat you like labor.
It's easy to just not care.
Yes,
it's easy to not care that some kid got gunned down by someone who was a cop or a Zimmerman type. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's easy to not give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean there is power in the phrase. It's not just so that we can remember who they are, which is important, right? I think that's probably a part of the original idea, but there is power in the statement, say their name, right? It is power in that because it gives them humanity, right? Yep. It's not just another dead person killed at the hands of police. It's Sandra Bland, right? So it's like, fuck, that is a person, right? It's Breonna Taylor. That is a person. There is a real power in naming somebody who is a victim, right? Just like there is real power in mass shootings of not naming the perpetrator. There is power in that because when you take that from them, they aren't celebrities anymore, right? Like that's why people are like, just don't talk about the victims. Don't give that person's name, because when you do that, you give them power. And it's the same thing. Giving someone their name is a trait of humanity, right? It's the reason why it happens in war, it happens in violence with police, it happens in prisons. It's the reason why people's names are referred to as dead names if they're trans, right? Their name matters. Like, my name is my name, right? That is all that you have. That is your humanity. That's how I distinguish you from Terrence and, from anybody else. You are who you are. So when you have when you have your name stripped away from you, it's easy to treat you like garbage. So
yeah,
there you go. There's a very serious point at the beginning of this life review, but it's true, right? Like, so this movie, I don't know, man. This movie had a lot of heart that I was not expecting, like you said.
I was not expecting it.
Why am I taking this so serious?
Yeah, I was like, wow, why am I?
Also, I miss Heavy D. God damn it. I was so mad.
This movie opens up with Heavy D.
Like, I was happy to see him, but then I remembered Heavy D died. I'm like, it's fucked up. Man, I loved Heavy D back in the day. He was awesome.
Yeah, man. So I'm basically going to be reading from the Wikipedia. Feel free to
I'll jump.
Feel free to stop me. At the Mississippi State Penitentiary. That's another thing about this movie. Not going any further south than Northern Virginia.
Damn, you're not even getting to Richmond. Like,
nope, not going to Richmond. Never going to King's Dominion again. Sorry.
Oh, damn.
Can't do it.
I'm not going to King's Dominion.
Can't do it.
Nah, yo. They're not making Mississippi look too hot. I mean, it looks hot, but not looking too great.
At the Mississippi State Penitentiary, an elderly convict named Willie Long, played by Obababa Tunde, attends the burial of two friends.
His makeup, by the way, was excellent. His was the best of the old man makeup.
I was like, that ain't him. Like, get out of here.
They got an old stand-in? Like, nah, that's him.
He attends the burial of two friends and fellow inmates who recently died in an infirmary fire. Two younger inmates, one of them played by Heavy D, and I guess a boy, begin digging their graves while Willie tells them about their life story of the two dead guys, Rayford Ray Gibson and Claude Banks, played by Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, respectively.
Yeah.
And we flash back to 1932, and New York, and we see Ray, played by really slick looking Eddie Murphy. Like I really enjoy this version of Eddie Murphy. Like,
yes, this is my favorite.
He feels like old Eddie Murphy in this movie.
He does. I see Axel Foley in this role. He's got a very Axel Foley way about him. It's just good. Like, this is him he is in his fucking bag in this movie, and it looks like he's like, I'm trying to recapture that youth, that quick paced talking and all that other shit. Like, and you see it in Dolomite Is My Name to some degree too, but like, this actually feels really good to see him excited and energetic in the movie. It's dope.
Yeah, man.
Not like Mr. Church or something.
Right. Not all sullen and shit. He had kids and now his life is ruined.
Yeah. He had a couple of run-ins with the law that weren't too hot either.
Right. Yeah. So he goes, Ray is this hustler and a thief, and Claude is this, kind of, he's not upstanding, but he's an honest guy.
Yeah.
But, he's kind of like me. I'm honest, but like I'm real selfish. like I won't hurt you, but like I gotta look out for me.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, it's like Batman rules, right? I'm not gonna hurt you, but I'm not gonna stop you from getting hurt.
Right.
That's not my problem.
I don't have to save you.
Right.
I'm not gonna hurt you, but I'm definitely not saving you.
That seems like a lot of work. I like that Martin Lawrence has the same part that every black kid had in like 1983. I had that part. But yeah, he's trying to be he's a stand-up guy. Like he's not in any sort of seedy shit at all.
Well, he's trying to I got the feeling that he, because he owes money to this
like a bookie.
I forget. Yeah, he owes money to a bookie, right? So I get the feeling that he's trying to get his life turned around, and he starts a new job as a bank teller on Monday. So he went to this club owned by this guy named Spanky, played by Rick James. Yeah, that Rick James.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Rick James.
Oh, that's funny.
Rick James, bitch. That's Rick James. And
I didn't even notice.
He goes there with his girlfriend or fiance.
Oh shit! It is. God damn. Yeah, that's wild.
Played by Sanaa Lathan, and he gets met by the two of the bookies. Goons, and they take his money. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? So he ain't got no money, right?
They were like, you can leave with your legs. So he was like, well, I like my legs. He's like, all right, I got it.
So Eddie Murphy, who had been eyeing Claude from earlier, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go pick this guy's pocket. So he goes into the bathroom, pretends like he knows him. Martin,
this is amazing.
Claude does something pretty smart, and it was like, wait, you went to City? And he's like, yeah, I went to City. Yeah. You remember? I went to City with you. And Martin's like, nah, bitch, I went to Poly. You must be thinking of somebody else.
Right. Like, I'm not some sort of idiot who would go to City.
Yeah, right.
Not
Get
Deacon.
the fuck out of here. Some failed actor going to.
Don't you have to be successful before you failed?
Oh, damn.
He ain't gonna hear this for like 2 weeks. Get out of here.
I look forward to hearing this sometime in mid-December. His reaction. He's a good actor. I've seen him act. So Ray picks Claude's pocket, and he goes to try and give money to Spanky, aka Rick James. And he was like, "Oh shit, ain't nothing in this wallet." Meanwhile, Claude, who had just got fleeced, is like, "Here's your bill, sir." And he's like, "Oh, the bill, yeah." And then they do a weird cut, of just these guys getting drug out onto the docks,
right? Yeah, like I like that they were willing to kill. They were willing to kill him because he did dine and dash.
Did a dine and dash.
They were like, no, we got to murder this nigga. Like, really? Is it that serious? God damn.
So, like you said, they try to drown Claude into the river, and Ray is talking to Spanky, and he's like, "Come on, man, like give me a chance to pay you back. I got this bootlegging thing, or this bootlegging thing you want me to do, I'll do that for you. But I'm gonna need a partner. You know, I'll take him, right? I'll take this guy. Like, there's no need to kill him." This was the shaky part of the movie for me. Was the trying?
Why is that?
The reason to get these two together, period. Right? Like, it's a little kind of all over the place. It's all over the place. They kind of, the way they get to it is kind of weird, right? Like, they just kind of do some quick cuts, but I think that is probably for the movie's benefit. The movie is already an hour and 50 minutes. Yeah. You don't want it to be too complicated. You want to hurry up and get to the buddy, not buddy cop thing. Yeah, but like the buddy, the friendship. The road trip. Yeah. You want to hurry up and get to these two being together. So if you can get past this first 10, 15 minutes, you're golden, right? So Spanky is like, "All right, you can do your bootlegging. But this guy can go with you. Just don't fuck me again, or I will fucking kill you." Yeah, he was like, "I will make it my personal business." It's like, all right, I got it.
Now that I know this is Rick James, this is not a terrible performance by him. No, I thought he was fine. I was like, I was like, who is this guy? And I was like, oh, he's just probably some, character actor. I don't know. That's really wild to see. I guess because he's not wearing his hair, in, like dreads with, barrettes on them, or not dreads, but braids with box braids with barrettes. I'm having a hard time recognizing.
He doesn't look like Venus and Serena Williams.
Right. So yeah, I was just totally blanked on that. That's really funny. I'm glad you read that.
He was all right in it. Yeah. Not the only time that Eddie Murphy and Rick James get together on a project.
Yes.
You remember that song?
Yes, nigga, I do remember that song.
Party all the time. My girl wants to. All right.
Look, here's the thing though.
Kind of like
that song. I do.
I kind of like it.
I do.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Come on. No, the song he did with Michael Jackson was a goddamn atrocious. Eddie Murphy did.
Yeah.
How did he do a better song with Rick James than he did with Michael? All right. It's fucking stupid.
Because apparently Rick James can make anything sound good, and Michael Jackson is like he can't uplift. He can't. He's not a rising tide. He's the fucking iceberg, right? Like other people's talent gets slammed into him. Yeah, and he's just there.
Yeah. Well, I guess he was like, I saved Barry Gordy's son once. All right, I don't have time to save every one of you motherfuckers who wants a music career. Get out of here, Rockwell. No, people really like my song. No, niggas, people like Michael Jackson. Just calm down. You shouldn't even been on the track.
So these two head south in order to buy a carload of Mississippi hooch. Oh, yes. And they on their way down, they have, we get conversations with these two. We get to know them. We find out that Claude wants to be a bank teller, and Ray thinks that's effeminate.
Right. What a weird thing to be so sure about. We also find out that Ray wants to start his own club called Ray's Boom Boom Room.
Yeah, he wants to go to the Boom Boom Room. He wants to start a club called the Boom Boom Room. They at one point they stop at a pit stop.
Yeah, look, I found this scene to be very funny.
It was, man.
It's a scene from the first episode of Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking spot.
So they go up into this diner with only white people, and Martin is just like, I'm gonna just call him Martin because I'm tired of calling him Claude. I'm gonna call Eddie Murphy because I'm tired of calling him Ray. Martin goes up and he's like, "Ooh, that smells pie. That smells good." First of all, I'm not a pie person. I'm a cake person.
You're an idiot.
And
you're the worst type of person, is what you are.
Apparently not, because your ass would have got hemmed up by these white.
Nah. I keep my head on a swivel. I'm not. If I walk in there and they cut the music, no, I'm leaving. Get the fuck out of here.
And he's just like, and Martin's just like, "Hey, I want some coffee and a slice of pie." And these hillbilly white people, first of all, I love the fact that the majority of these white people are just like the dumbest fucking people in the world.
Oh yeah, every white person in this movie for the most part is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like they said, like Martin goes up to the guy behind the counter who's wearing a name tag. And he's like, "Hey, Billy, how you doing? How you know my name?" Like, I love the fact that they sound dumb. Right?
Yeah, they really throw it on, especially in this scene. Absolutely.
And how you know my? Well, it's on your name tag, sir.
He was like, "How y'all? What did she say? Since y'all can read so good." Oh, it's 1932, right? Like it's not 1832. Like, it's not illegal for black people to know how to read, but like in their neck of the woods, like that's also, still crazy.
Yeah, it's also Mississippi. You know?
Yeah.
So that was just a pit stop.
Well, now hold on, because like Martin starts getting like really belligerent about it. He's like, "I want some goddamn pie." Like, he was like, "Fuck racism. I'm from New York," basically, right? Like, we fixed this, which is ironic. But there's that moment where Eddie Murphy's like, all right. How much to turn these white pies into nigger pies? Yo, and that white woman pulls out a fucking shotgun. She was like, "How about I turn y'all into nigger pies?" And they were like, "You know what? Got it. We gotta go." That shit was fucking hilarious. Yeah, but like this scene is like the right amount of tense, because it goes to show you like the street smarts of Eddie Murphy's character and the utter like arrogance of Martin's character, which I enjoyed. And then he's like, "Oh, that's right. I'm black in fucking Mississippi in 1932. Let me get the fuck out of here." Thought shit was sweet. Like, get out of here. No.
So, they get to where they need to go, and they pay for the booze that they are trafficking. And they take the money and they go to a local bar. And Martin meets, Martin meets the reason why we are starting so late.
That's not true.
If you people could hear the conversations that we have. Martin meets Lisa Nicole Carson. And
oof.
Wow.
Yo, this is 1999. Yo. Yeah, she's a showstopper, man. She's a showstopper.
She was like, "What's your name?" And Martin was like, "This has never happened to me before. I don't know my name."
It starts with a C. I remember that. Yo, she is so fine. It's ridiculous. Jesus. But she had a hell of a run, man. Like, she would always show up and just be like the hot sultry chick. Like, that was just her thing in black movies. which was dope.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And he Martin after Lisa Nicole Carson just takes a drink, in like the sexiest, like hardcore way possible. Martin is like, oh shit, I gotta do the same thing because I don't want her to think that I'm like some sort of bitch, right? So he drinks it and he's like, oh, Claude, that's my name.
Yep. Now I remember. Yeah, all right.
And she was just like, you got any money?
Yeah, I'd be like, that's why you got to keep your head on a swivel, man. Yeah.
He was like, I got $2, but I need to get home. She's like, what you need to go home for? Like, yo, you saying all the right things for me to make a bad decision.
That's right. Here's the link to my OnlyFans. Oh, I'm done. You got my money.
Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy's character is, he met a man named Winston Hancock, played by Clarence William III. And they playing cards. And Eddie Murphy gets hustled. Clarence William III was cheating his ass off.
Yes, he was.
And Eddie Murphy bet everything, including his daddy's watch, which is the one thing that his father gave him. It's the one thing that he has from his father, who he really loves and respects. He bet that because he was like, yo, I got a killer hand.
Right.
And he loses the watch. He finds out that the waitress has been helping them.
Yep. Had cards taped under her little tray.
Her ashtray.
Yeah.
And he gets pissed. So he goes out, he storms out, and he's looking for Winston Hancock. Martin's character comes back down from downstairs, after, getting whatever $2 in 1932 will get you.
I mean, maybe a lot.
It might be a lot. I mean, if $2 is enough to get home, apparently.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I don't know, man. Might have been worth it. I do like that dude was like dating Sanaa Lathan. He went down south and was like, let me give this $2 and see what's popping. Like, yo, he gave up that money super quick. I don't know.
So he there's a funny scene when Eddie Murphy comes back in the bar and he was like, you still got that $2? And he was like, Mom was like, I met this girl and
hold on. According to an online inflation calculator, $2 in 1932 would be equivalent to $38 in 2020.
Oh,
$38.01. Hey, you probably make something happen for $38.
You can get one of the various jobs for $38.
One of the various jobs. Yeah, I bet you could. I mean, I've seen hookers on the point, right? Like, I feel like you get the whole smorgasbord for $38 in some places. Like, it's Mississippi, right? Like, cost of living is lower.
Exactly. So. That $38 easily stretched like $50-$60, and then you can get some sort of job for that.
Yeah. I feel like you get the whole shebang for $38.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not with her. She looks too goddamn good.
$3.
You'll be lucky if she puts it like between her kneecaps or some shit. Just kind of.
Well, back in 1932, maybe that's all you needed. That's what they were doing back then. I don't know. Is that what the Charleston was? I don't know, guys. I never looked it up. I have no idea. Look, you got $5. That's damn near $100. That's all I'm saying.
So he was like, yeah, this woman, she her mother was having an operation and the church was trying to, help her out. And, so I gave her my $2. And Eddie Murphy was like, oh, okay. She was almost there, but she needed $2 to get there, huh?
I did like he was like, at one point he says to him, he was like, oh, is that the girl you were with earlier? And he was like, yeah, that's her. He was like, he looks over, he sees her, he goes, yeah, she looked religious. Yo, I burst out laughing. That's a great line. It's like, Yeah, okay. All right, sure. Her church needed it. Right.
Oh shit. So they go outside and they see that Hancock has been shot and killed by the town sheriff Warren Pike.
Right.
And some hillbillies find him, they bring him to Pike, and Pike is like, "Oh, I guess you niggas just killed this other nigga." And then we see that they get thrown in jail.
Yep.
And these guys are protesting their innocence. And, in actuality, the sheriff killed Hancock. And he says, these are the perfect patsies to frame this murder on.
Yep.
So later on, they get sent to trial. And because they're black, and it's Mississippi. I'm not giving the year as a qualifier. Because they're black and it's Mississippi, they get life in prison.
Now, see, I'm going to have to deal with the backlash of this. You say things like this. Like the last time.
Yo, it's Mississippi, yo. It's Mississippi. Like, if you
it's
live
in the
Mississippi-
1930s. All right, relax.
Right. Like, come on, yo. If you live in Mississippi in the 2020s, you still live in the dumbest state in the union. So, if you got a problem with it, like, get the fuck out of there.
Look, and it's not your fault. It's just run by garbage people. Yeah. Like it is. It is. It is.
Look, Baltimore is not that great. You know what I did? I got the fuck out of there.
Don't do that. I still live here. Maryland has the highest, we're in number one in education. I mean, it's not where I live. I'm just saying. But Maryland got high education.
Right. They got high education. They can't pronounce the place that they're in.
I mean, that's true.
Maryland.
I
should know. That's what I say.
Exactly. I was educated here.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore education system. Really not great.
I hear my son getting my accent too. I'm like,
oh no. What word does he say that's like you?
two.
Oh shit. That's my dad. He a good dude.
He knows all his letters. We're working on numbers, and yeah. 1, 2. Like, oh God.
It's 2, son. Please, for the love of God. That's hilarious. Good.
So these dudes get sentenced to life in prison. And we see that they are sent to an infamous prison camp of the Mississippi State Prison called Camp 8, where they are to perform hard labor.
No. Couldn't be me. This is where the gun line is. Word, I'm out.
Right. This is
life.
This place is so notorious that it don't need a fence, because if you try to escape, they got snipers at posts, and they will kill your ass. And this dude, Sergeant Dillard, is looks like he's enjoying giving this speech to all the new inmates.
Yeah,
he even got his own Virgil. Yeah. Named Hoppin' Bob.
Hoppin' Bob. I was hoping that they were actually going to give Hoppin' Bob a little bit of a story. Like just how he got there, right? Like you feel like there's a story there, but they didn't bother. But I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I was kind of hoping he'd get a little bit of a story.
Yeah, but it's like, it's like that black guy who walks around in like South Carolina in the Confederate uniform,
right?
Waving the battle flag, right? Like that guy, like that's a real guy. Right?
Yeah, he's a real person, which is fucking mind-numbing.
He's got a story. Don't really care to hear it.
That's fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah.
So they run afoul of the guards, and they soon become acquainted with their fellow inmates. Claude meets Jangle Leg, played by Bernie Mac, who makes a pass at Claude at one point.
This scene, I don't know how they even can keep a straight face. Like when they were taping this.
Everybody,
I don't know how.
yeah.
I don't know.
So there's a lot of all of this early prison life. It's a lot of getting to know people, right?
Right. Because there's there's a huge cast of characters.
Yeah, you got a lot of people here who don't get they get a decent amount of screen time, but you could tell that it's weird because like the focus is on these two guys, right?
Right.
And normally if the focus were to be on these two guys, they would be surrounded by essentially nobodies.
Right.
But they aren't surrounded by they aren't surrounded by nobodies, and two, this is the first time we're watching this. These people are more than just up and coming comedians or a couple of really funny people that you may have seen before.
Right.
Like, nah, yo, like
these are established fucking actors, man.
Anthony Anderson is in this movie. This is his first movie.
Wow, really?
Yeah, this is his film debut, apparently.
That's crazy. Like, and he's a huge star at this point.
Right. It doesn't feel like it, right? But
no.
That's what
he keeps up with them, like no problems, which is kind of amazing.
And
yeah, but like
it's weird because it's like fat Anthony Anderson, right? Like it's like
I mean, he's still
like,
he's still kind of fat now. Like he's not a skinny guy.
He's not a skinny dude, but he's like he's
trying to get svelte. He's
round faced Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, that's fair. I still like Anthony Anderson a lot. I like him on Blackish a lot.
He's a great TV dad. Not the best TV dad, but he's a great TV dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's weird, right? Because there are a lot of people here, and you don't, like normally. I think it's cool that like Eddie Murphy basically was just like, hey, let's just get all our friends to just kind of be in this.
Yeah,
and let's just have a good time.
Yeah, like the fact that like Oba Babatunde is in this, and like so many other established actors. I mean, at this point, Miguel Nunez Jr. is like a pretty well established actor. Obviously, Bernie Mac is a super established comedian. And Bokeem Woodbine shows up later on. Like just looking at the cast, like. It is pretty good. It is. I mean, it's pretty goddamn amazing. So, yeah, Barry Henley. It's amazing to have picked those guys and not, like you said, not just picked a bunch of like small timers that they could just kind of dominate the screen with. Like that's kind of. It goes to show you how much they've made it that they can do that, right? They're not unwilling to share the limelight, which is awesome. But I guess as black actors who truly have made it, and Martin and Eddie Murphy definitely by this point in their careers have definitely made it. That's powerful, right? Like use your power to put on, not even just put on young people, because that's important too, right? But to just have all of these big names, like fuck it, we're putting all our boys in it. Like we're always going to be in this shit together and give all of these guys like high billing. That's awesome. That's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we get introduced to Willie. Biscuit, played by Miguel Nunez, a homosexual inmate, as it says on Wikipedia, but there's a reason I believe that they highlight that. Which is like a little bit of a message in this movie that I was just not expecting, especially given the time period that this actual movie was released.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I was shocked to see them address it in the way that they did.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, this is like some of that heart that I'm just like wow, like
it's weirdly progressive in some ways. Again, right. But this is a 1999 black comedy, which by all accounts would not be progressive on that issue.
Right. This is a 1999 black comedy, an R-rated Eddie Murphy black comedy.
That takes place in the 30s. like there is no reason for that moment that he has with him later with Biscuit. There's no reason for that to be as reasonable and progressive as it is, but they make it a point to be, which is really fucking great.
It was surprisingly refreshing.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like,
I know. I was waiting for Miguel Nunez to just be like head snaking and snapping fingers and shit. And he ain't do none of that shit.
no. Like, yeah, I'm a gay man. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. You love to see it.
Yeah, you do.
Radio played by Guy Toyd. Goldmouth played by Michael Taliaferro, who is an imposing bully who initially picks a fight with Eddie Murphy's character.
I just realized today, I didn't realize he had passed away recently or a couple of years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anthony Anderson plays the chef Cookie. Poker Face played by Barry Henley. At one point, yeah, like they say in this Wikipedia, Goldmouth he looks at Martin's character and is like, "You want to eat that cornbread?" He's like, Martin's like, "Hey, no, sir. If you want it, you can have it. Here you go." And Eddie Murphy's like, "Nah, man, you can't do that. Like, you can't let these people push you around. Like, somebody come at me like that, there's going to be some consequences and repercussions." And
yeah, there is, all right.
And they get into a fight, but it's like, hey, I guess I respected you more because of it.
I mean, here's the thing: you gotta that's the jail rules, right?
You gotta punch a bully in the face. Yo.
Yeah, you gotta fight your first day. I'm not built for jail, yo. I'm just not.
Nah. You can call me all kinds of bitches all you want, yo. I'm not for it. I'm not for it.
Y'all couldn't handle it in jail. Nigga, you're right.
Right. You probably can't either.
And if you can, bully for you. It ain't me.
Right.
I ain't going to jail.
Congratulations on your life of crime, nigga. That ain't me.
Nah, yo, I I never understood that. Like, you a bitch if you can't make it in prison. I'll be a bitch on the outside. Like,
right.
Nah, yo.
Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Nope.
I had a cousin who went to jail, came back. He's all thin and he just real mellow, like he'd been neutered, man. Like he was different.
Yeah, that's sad.
I like being me, man.
Yeah.
I like being me.
Yeah. Oh, come on, let's go on a trip down south. We can make a quick buck. I'm good.
Like I said, no further south than Northern Virginia. Nah. Fuck that. Later on in the movie, Claude gets a conjugal visit.
No, hold on. We gotta slow down because there's a fight between there's a fight between Eddie Murphy's character and the one big dude.
Yeah, I thought we were just talking about that.
Well, no, I just want to get into one part of that, which is when he punches Eddie Murphy in the face. What is that character's name? Fuck, I'm trying to find it real fast.
Goldmouth.
Yeah, Goldmouth. When he punches Eddie Murphy in the face, Eddie Murphy says to him, and I thought it was a great line. He goes, "I knew a chick named Della who hit harder than you," which is clearly a reference to Della Reese from Harlem Nights, which I thought was awesome. I was like, wait, is he playing? I was trying to think, like, is he supposed to be playing like a version of a character from that? But no, it wouldn't make sense because obviously he was in jail the whole time. So,
yeah.
But I thought that was kind of funny.
It's just a funny aside that if you're a fan, you will pick up on.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Martin gets a conjugal visit from Sanaa Lathan.
All right.
Yeah. What the fuck you call him? Sergeant Dillard is like, you got to be married to get a conjugal visit. And dude's like, come on, man. Like, look,
she here, nigga.
He was like, all right, give me some money.
And he was like, I give you a temporary marriage certificate. It was like, all right, like, look, do what I got to do. I mean,
so
it's understandable.
Look, I get it. So look, Ray is telling everybody about the boom boom room, and we cut back to the end of the conjugal visit, and Sanaa Lathan's character says that he has a cousin that's an attorney. His name is Melvin,
Right.
and he wants Sanaa Lathan to see if he can get an appeal for his conviction. And she's like, well, what about your friend? And Martin's is like, fuck that nigga.
Yep.
Get it for me.
Yeah. That nigga's a lifelong criminal. I mean, this goes to show you that at 47 minutes or so into the movie, he does not consider him his friend. Right? They're still trying, and they just got there. They're still very much separated. I mean, they're together only because they came together at this point. They're not established as actually friends.
Right. Whereas I think Eddie Murphy is, at least they're like, hey, like we partners. We road dogs.
Yeah.
Martin clearly is like, no.
Yeah, we are in this alone.
So, what's his name? Eddie Murphy is talking about a plan that he has, and he wants to, to get out. And Martin is just like, nah, y'all, I ain't fucking with your plans, man.
Right.
One night, everybody's supposed to be asleep, and Eddie Murphy is talking about his dream of, having his club.
Yeah. I thought this was a sweet part. This is one of the heart moments, right?
Yeah, man. Like he's regaling this idea of this, this club, and everybody's like, well, what about me? And he's like, oh, you in it too, bro. So, hey, somebody got to watch the door. And then then they introduce that character in the flashback. And Goldmouth is funny because he's like, what about me? Eddie Murphy's like, somebody got to watch the door. And then they cut to the fantasy sequence of him being the bouncer waving. Yeah. And then we cut to reality of Goldmouth waving at his fantasy.
Right? Because he's so stupid. Yeah, I liked it. And then like in the fantasy, the cops break in, and then like in reality, it's Hop and Bob flashing lights in front of their face, telling them to go to sleep, which was pretty good. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a sweet scene because it's like they're all using their imagination as a way to sort of have a temporary escape. From all
to cope with the fact that they're in this motherfucking situation,
Right.
Yeah, man. Sometimes hope is all you got.
That is it.
So, shortly afterwards, they get some mail, and Martin's character finds out that his appeal was denied, and that his girl kind of fell for his cousin, Melvin. So she's like, you know what? You gonna be in there. You ain't coming out.
I'm about to move on. You waiting on your wife after she gets to life prison? How long you waiting?
I mean, if my wife gets life in prison, something's fucking wrong.
What if she ain't do it? What if she lost? What if she lost her best? Daddy's watching a poker game down in Mississippi. What a wild. Knowing your wife, that's a wild scenario. But yes.
Look, if she ain't do it, yeah, I'll I ain't going nowhere.
Right? Listen to this nigga lying on
what we were talking about earlier. I ain't going nowhere.
Listen to this nigga lie on Al Gore's internet. Shut up. You got life?
If she got life in prison, I would try, I would do my best to appeal it.
Right. Then when we get to the Supreme Court and they're like, nah, I'll be like, look, I did the best I could. You gonna be all right in there.
I mean, look, I will not say that
I'm fucking.
I will say that I will wait if she says, don't wait for me. I'm gonna act like cockroach. Right.
You sure? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. Sure. All right. Hey, wait a minute. Nah, don't get mad now.
Right. No, you ain't getting 3 all your shores. No.
You get 2.
You get 1.
Damn, 1.
You be like, nah, look, you don't wait for me. Are you sure? See, if you say it slowly, if you say it as slowly as if you were asking, "Are you sure?" 3 times, it counts as 3. Are you sure?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's on them. That's on them. There you go. There you have it. Me, on the other hand, no, I would wait for my wife forever. Micah apparently is a piece of shit. How dare you? How dare you? No, if I got life in prison, I would tell my wife, don't wait. Like, do your thing. Get out of here.
No, if I got life in prison, no, you got to wait for me.
Don't you ever step up. Don't you ever.
It's part of the double standard of being a man. Like, I'm sorry.
My ego cannot take this.
You got to wait for me. You got to get me out.
You got to get me out of here. No, you need, look, I need a Nelson Mandela style, like believe in me type of shit. Like, that's what I need. I need you to exhaust all resources.
I need you to be like them white people in the hurricane.
Working overtime.
Right. I need you to form some sort of coalition to get me out.
Call Michael B. Jordan. I need his help. Me and him can sing church songs in prison or whatever. No, I mean, I think if I was like, all right, it's been 20 years, like.
No, I would get it.
I'd be like, I get it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's not fine, but I understand.
No, it's not fine. But
don't let that nigga hug my daughter. Like, no.
Right. You don't let him call you. I see myself. You don't let him call you daddy.
No, never. I'm your dad. Fuck that. These white people got me in prison. No. That'd be my one argument. I'd be like, it's fine. It's not her dad. Ever. And I want to see her every weekend. I'm bored. Yeah, so they go ahead.
They realize that ain't no appeal coming for them. So they try to devise a plan to escape, and they start to make a break for it, and they got everybody out there hunting for them, and they get caught. And they each get they get brought back, and they each get sentenced to a week in solitary confinement. They the head white man in charge of this the warden, I guess is what you call him. I was about to call him slave master.
One could make the argument.
The warden asks his daughter, "What should we do with these boys, honey?" That bitch is like, "Put them in the hole, daddy." Like,
yeah, somebody gonna put it in the hole later. But anyway, go ahead. Not when she's a little girl. When she's an adult, I'm just saying.
So they get sentenced to a week in solitary confinement. Solitary confinement is probably where I would lose my mind and try to kill myself.
No, that's 100%. That's 100%. Now I will say this. This is the scene when they're trying to escape. This is where their friendship is created. Like, their real friendship is created because Martin chooses not to leave Eddie when he gets stuck on the fence. Right? Like, he could have just bailed. Like, maybe he would have made it, maybe he wouldn't have. But he chose to stick it out and try to help his friend. All right, Mike, I'm gonna ask you the $10 million question. You gonna wait if I get stuck on the fence, or you just gonna run?
Well,
your delay in answer is disgusting to me.
I mean, are you hurt? Like, do I have to carry you?
No. I'm just stuck on the fence. I don't need your help after that.
Oh, well, if you don't need my help.
After that, nigga. After that. I'm stuck on the fence. Help me.
Yes, I would wait for you. I would wait for you.
Right,
but I've known you for I've known you for a very long time. I wouldn't wait for Terrence. He could take care of himself. He's a grown ass man.
What the fuck does that say about me? You're like, you look like you're
not really a.
Oh, it's a height joke. Oh, great. Thank you. Go fuck yourself. Whatever. Terrence would have probably just leaped the fence.
Yeah, Terrence is.
He's an athletic dude.
Terrence would probably be the first one gone.
Oh, that nigga running day one. Get out of here. Where the gun line at? All right, work. Bet.
Right. Terrence, either that or he would be plotting to stage some sort of coup to try and kill all the white people.
That sounds more accurate, actually.
He's
More of a Koba in the Planet of the Apes sort of situation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, either that or like you said, he would be the one that that would just be out of this motherfucker. He wouldn't tell nobody.
You wake up like, yo, where Terrence at? He
Wake up
gone.
one
That
day,
nigga out.
right, exactly. Terrence would just be gone.
Like, yo, you ain't leave a map? Nigga, I'm in New York. What happened? Y'all ain't run? Damn, that's fucked up. Something wrong with y'all.
You.
Like, nigga, you ain't said nothing in 3 days.
You ain't say nothing to nobody. All right. The movie has stopped for me. So I need to try and figure out where I'm at.
Okay, so at this point, so they do their time in solitary confinement. And the movie fast forwards 12 years. So at this point, it is very well established that they have been there for quite some time. And the movie goes through like watching the prisoners like watch a movie and what have you. And Martin and Eddie they're just kind of they're kind of distraught, right? Like they're just not too pleased.
They see, the passage of time is done pretty good here. You see a bunch of newsreels of everything that's going on, right? Like this is the 30s. They've been in jail through World War II.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Like the shit, and they make a point of this later on. The shit that they miss by being incarcerated is just wild.
Which is something else that, again, this silly movie, like there's an actual statement here of, just like of what prisoners face when they come back out. Like it's a brand new world to them.
Yeah, I mean, they're in jail from arguably 1932 to what I assume is like 1999. Right?
I'll tell you exactly the timeline. Claude and Ray arrive at the Mississippi prison in 1932. They spend 65 years in jail, meaning the last year the movie takes place is in 1997. And Ray says in that year that he's 90 years old, meaning that he was born in 1907. Claude was probably also born in that year or somewhere around it. So they were 25 when they came into jail, 37 when they are shown in 1944, and 65 when they are shown in 1972.
That's crazy. 65 years.
Imagine,
and they miss everything.
25 to 90
in prison.
Like with only brief glimpses of the outside world, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get transferred and become indentured servants or whatever.
Yeah, they literally do.
But yeah, I couldn't.
I can't imagine. I mean, okay, so by their standards, like they have missed like the color television, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, like the creation of like they've basically missed every modern institution. Like they've missed all of it, which is just fucking nuts. Like that's like the idea of why can't these these prisoners get back into the world? Like how could they?
And like when you really think about it, like think about how far like technology has progressed. Right. Like
in like 10 years.
Right. Like there's this video game series that I play that that uses a trope of a character going to prison for 20 years, coming out and not knowing what a cell phone is.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because it's just like, well, this is new to them. It's foreign to them. They don't know. And like you said, how do you expect people to get reacclimated into society after they've done a long bid like that, right? Like
It's impossible.
The only thing they know is the thing that got them in there in the first place.
And prison life, right? Which gets brought up later, but it's the only safe thing for them because it doesn't change. Like that place that they're in Mississippi doesn't change from 1932 to 1997. It never changes. Like the prison doesn't change. Right, like they're not even at a standard prison. They're like at basically like a prison camp. So it's kind of amazing. Like I'm just looking at events. They basically went to jail at the end of the Great Depression and just were there the rest of the time. Like that's fucking nuts. Like that's nuts to imagine, right? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like they missed. I mean, basically they went in and it was like, oh, FDR got elected president like the next year, and then like fucking everything else. That's so weird to me. So they show how they like missed the civil rights movement. Like, can you imagine how fucking horrifying that is? Like your people are finally being like fighting in the streets for equality, and you can't do nothing but sit and watch this shit from a jail cell. That's nuts, dude. That's nuts. Wow. Amazing. Wow. Amazing. Because there's a moment later on where Martin's out there and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, there's black people just walking around and shit, talking to white people, like, just doing whatever y'all want. Yeah. This is a modern era. Like, it's wild. I can't imagine. Like, I always found that interesting, like, knowing my grandmother died when she was 83. 83 or 86, I can't remember now. But, like, the shit that she must have seen.
Right.
Like, yo, she saw the first black president, and when she was born, she couldn't vote. For a long portion of her life, she couldn't vote. Like, it's fucking nuts. So, yeah, like, prison steals something from you. Like, and it's not just your freedom, but it also just steals time. Like, you just literally just disassociated with the world for years. That's so dangerous, which is why black people, even when they get out, are just plagued with an inability to get back in. Even if you're in for 5 years, 5 years is an eternity in the modern world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts.
So 12 years later, Claude and Ray meet a young mute inmate played by Bokeem Woodbine, whose nickname is Can't Get Right. And he is a talented baseball player who catches the eye of as the sergeant calls, Nigger League, and as the scout calls, the Negro League.
Yeah, classic.
So Ray has this, or Claude has this idea of, hey, if you can get a pardon for the scout is like, yeah, we can probably get him a pardon to get him out of here to play in the Negro League. And Ray and Claude are like, well, he's our guy. He don't go nowhere without us. We pretty much just, we groom him. He don't play without us. So you got to get him a pardon. Right. You can work something out with us too. And
it's a pretty good scam. Pretty sure it's not going to work.
Yeah. We cut to a scene with the warden.
Nigga, this scene is hilarious to me.
We got to a scene with the warden whose daughter is all grown up and was pregnant.
Yeah, that scene of Anthony Anderson behind the pole going, she got gas. She got gas. Nigga, I was crying. That shit is funny to me. She's a good looking woman. Just goes to show you, like, men are men everywhere, all through time. Yeah. Like, yeah, I ain't blind. Like, I'm in Mississippi, I get it. And I'm on a chain gang or whatever. But like, it's like, oh, word? I love that. They were like, it's okay to glance every once in a while. Can't get right. My man was just like,
yeah, Bokeem Woodbine was just like, yeah, he was ready to rub one out right then and there.
Yep. Yeah, he was ready for that.
So the warden, whose daughter is pregnant, the midwife comes out, and she's as white as a ghost, no pun intended. And the warden is like, "It's a boy. Oh, let me see him. Let me see him." And he rushes in there, and apparently the she gave birth to a very dark skinned black child.
She gave birth to like a 7-month-old. That baby was growing up as shit. Hilarious.
Yeah, because babies, black babies, I mean, unless you got real good genes, they don't come out black. Like,
no, that's their pigment comes in over a couple of days, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. I've seen a couple newborns who come out like black.
Yeah.
But like that's because their parents are both super dark skinned. Right. My son came out pink to the point where my father was like, "So is he gonna get his color? So is he darkening up? When is he gonna get his color?" It's like, it happens, man. You just gotta give it a couple months, man. Like, all right,
I'll just check.
All right.
Yeah, it is really funny. Yeah, my daughter was. I mean, she's biracial, so like she's definitely lighter, but she's been like a lot of time outside, so she got pretty dark, like as dark as she is probably going to get pretty fast, like within like a month. But yeah, if you're just in the house, yeah, no, it's just gonna take time. Like, it's all right.
Damn, man,
just relax.
Goodness gracious, hey, I was getting offended. I was like,
all right, nigga, you ain't that light. She ain't that light either.
I think you implying something,
right?
And I don't want you. Better fucking watch it.
Just fucking relax, relax,
calm the fuck down.
Right, exactly.
So, so the warden sees this black baby, and he was like, "Line all them niggas up." And this motherfucker takes the baby and holds it up next to the faces of each one of them damn inmates, just to try and see if he could parse some facial features together and shit. And he was basically like, "Which one of you niggas knocked up my daughter?"
I feel it in my bones. Now, this scene is absolutely hilarious. That baby one doesn't look like any of them, which is just funny. But they were like, so they start confessing. They do a like, "I am Spartacus" kind of.
They do a Spartacus thing where it's like, "It's my baby, sir." Like, "No, it's my baby. I'm the pappy." They do a Spartacus because they want to protect the real father, who is Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah,
he was making googly eyes at this white woman. Yeah. Ever since he met her.
Yeah, and since she's was raised around black men her whole life, she was like, "Okay, I get it." Yeah. So that's the last time you see of that character. Like they don't make that into a huge issue. I mean, even the like overseer dude was fucking laughing his ass off as the warden is driving off. He's like, "All right, look, this shit is fun." But it's kind of sad because Bokeem Woodbine never probably sees his kid again, right? But
yeah, which sucks. But but it was, again, it's a sweet scene, man. Like these guys, they came together, man. And speaking of coming together, here is Lisa Nicole Carson again. All right.
I'd have paid whatever extra money I needed for that conjugal visit.
Yeah, man, you got another couple dollars.
Yep.
Somebody let me hold something.
Yeah, come on. Now.
Here we come to the scene that we were talking about. So Miguel Nunez's character is a gay man, and he's sitting there with Eddie Murphy's character, and he's very like sad, and Eddie Murphy's like, "What's wrong with you, man?" And Miguel Nunez's character pulls out this paper saying that he's basically getting out next month.
Right.
And Eddie Murphy's like, yo, what the fuck? You should be happy, man. And Miguel Nunez's character is just like, I don't
Can't
know
go home to my mama like this.
Can't go home to my mama like this. And Eddie Murphy's character is like, come on, man, it's 1945.
Right.
Things have changed.
Right, it's progressive now. Yo, not like when we were back in 32. Like, that's crazy. But that line is funny to us, but it's not meant to be a funny line. Like, it's meant to be, the world is progressing, right? But it's just like, yo, it's 1945. Like, it ain't been, no.
It ain't as bad as it was. Like, nah.
It's still pretty bad. But it's interesting because what the scene implies is that Miguel Nunez was closeted, and then when he came to prison was able to be himself, right? So it's like, I can't go back to my mom like this, like how I've now become, which is interesting.
Right.
So, yeah.
And he does something that is very sad. And he gets up and he just starts running. He starts running because he knows what's going to happen.
Right.
And everyone's trying to stop him. And even Hoppin' Bob is like, come on, man. Like, please don't, please
make us do
this. Right. And all of a sudden, from one of the watchtowers, one of the inmates sees a guy running, and, he don't know Biscuit. Like, he's just doing what he told.
Right.
And he shoots Biscuit. Shoots him and kills him. And Bernie Mac is taking it hard because Bernie Mac was his lover, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, this is actually a really sad scene, man.
Yeah, it is. And it, like, there's nothing about this scene that's taken as a joke. Like, it's taken incredibly serious. Bernie Mac's character, Jangle Egg, he literally crosses the line to go to the body, and no one orders him to be shot, right? Like, they're like, just let him have this moment, right? This is with his partner. It is a wildly heartfelt moment in a movie that you would not expect, like, at all. And the nice thing is, it also doesn't get, which this is always a danger in comedies that weave in sort of serious talk, is the very next scene does not undercut the previous scene's seriousness, right? The next scene is also serious, that allows that moment of Biscuit's murder, suicide, really. Suicide, yeah. It's more suicide, but it allows his suicide to still ring as a serious moment before they get back to comedy. It's like, this is serious, and then boom, comedy right after, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's jarring. But they give another sort of semi-serious scene to kind of bring you back down before they do another joke scene, which is smart. That's smartly written. Because then we see a scene where Bokeem Woodbine's character can't get right. He gets a pardon from the governor's office because the recruiter comes back to help him out. And then Martin is upset because he's like, did you mention anything about us? Like, I told you. And he's like, yeah, I mentioned you both. But pardons don't come cheap. So can only get the kid out. And that's what you guys wanted. So.
Yeah.
So, and Martin in his anger is kind of forced to, like, accept that. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, that is what I wanted. Like, to not seem like a dick about it. So he has to kind of just eat that.
Especially because he's right there with everyone.
Right. So he has to, save face.
Like, he can't be outwardly selfish like he normally is with Ray.
Right.
So yeah, Martin and Ray have an argument. Martin's kind of at his wit's end, and they, Martin's like, oh, you're the worst thing that ever happened to me or some shit like that.
Yeah.
and they get into an argument, and they just stop talking. They stop talking for a long time.
Like
for they stopped talking almost as long as Will Smith and Janet Hubert stopped talking.
yeah. 30 years, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's your lesson. You can hold a grudge out.
And then, they show the passage of time. They show the civil rights movement. They show Malcolm X. They show JFK. They show they show different escape attempts.
Yeah, this nigga tried to steal a crop duster. That's hilarious.
Like, I'll see y'all in New York City, and then bam.
And nigga, flying a plane is not easy.
I don't know how the hell he survived that shit.
Yeah. But, they do when they're showing the passage of time, like they do a thing where they show these characters and then they show them like kind of disappear. So you don't know if they've died or if they just became free and just moved on.
I assume they died.
I assume that, but for them, somebody being freed is pretty much like death because they're just gone. They're never going to hear from them, and so it's kind of interesting. I don't know if they're all dead.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not, right? Like at the end of the montage, we see Willie Long, Oba Babatunde's character, get transferred.
Right.
So, anything could have happened to these guys, but
right.
The point is they're no longer there.
Yeah, even Hop and Bob disappears at one point.
Right. So these two guys are the only guys of the crew that we know, who are still here.
Right.
And yeah, Willie's in a wheelchair. He's going to, the infirmary or whatever. So, these guys are 65 years old now. It's 1972. And one day Martin just kind of snaps.
Yeah, he's kirked out.
Yeah, he was just like, "That's a pie." I never did get that pie from 40 years ago.
Yeah. I'm
gonna get me some pie.
When Martin runs over here, his running is fucking hilarious to me. He's running like the security guard character he played on Martin. Yeah. He's such a great physical comedian. He always has been. But yeah, he's eating this hot ass pie. That's why they put it out on the windowsill, dude, to let it cool down.
Yeah, to let it cool off. See, it's not hot? Cake.
Yeah, it's also
cake.
not.
You ain't never gonna burn the roof of your mouth eating cake.
That's true. My wife made a pie the other day. It was delicious. It's great. You know what? Didn't take fucking forever. You didn't have to stack it and put what is it? Whatever that fondant on top of it to make a rocket ship or some other bullshit.
Yeah. So you're telling me that she wasn't able to be creative? Is that what you're saying?
All right, I'll let her know. What you said. When this pandemic's over, she can come over there and fuck you up.
As punishment for stealing this pie, Martin's character is made to stand on top of open bottles.
Yeah.
Like these are like open old school beer bottles, 2 cases of them, with the tops off, and he has to stand on them for 24 hours. And Sergeant Dillard, old ass Sergeant Dillard, tells Eddie Murphy's character that he wants him to watch Claude and instructs him to shoot him and kill him if he steps off the bottle. And if he does, I'll let you go. I'll let you go myself. And Ray is like, nah, yo. You're like, if you give me that gun, I'm more likely to shoot your ass. So thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, a word is like that? Now you stand on the bottles next to his ass.
Which is, you know what? I'm okay with that. That's a fitting reply, actually. Like, that's not bad to me. All right,
And
man, fuck you
Martin
too.
straight up was like, nigga, I'd have took that deal. I'd have shot your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no love for you. Fuck you.
But they do, right? Like, he obviously does. And,
Yeah, he's
and
gonna
they're
look out for his
standing on
boy.
this thing. I think they're cracking each other up. Like, I think one line might have been ad-libbed, and it was, Martin saying, "Oh, I got my toe in one of the bottles."
Yeah.
And I think Eddie Murphy's about to crack up, but he's like, "I got to hold it together."
Well, and it's funny because that's where he's like, every time you say something, like, it makes me almost fall off this bottle. Like, and they're going back and forth. There's no way they did this in one take. There's no way, dude.
No, it can't. And I think they were trying to crack each other up, and they kept what they could, And they repair their friendship.
Yeah.
One day, Sergeant Dillard informs Ray and Claude that they will be transferred to live and work at Superintendent Dexter Wilkins' mansion. Ray works outside doing the gardening, and Claude is the house nigga.
So before we get to this scene, when they're told that they're being transferred, this is one of these like small but important scenes, right? When they're told by the fucking overseer, Dillard, he's like, "Yeah, you guys are transferred, and I'm not gonna miss you." And then he has this moment where like he is gonna miss them because they've been there for fucking 60 years, and he's known them that fucking long. And even though he's in a position of power and he treats them like shit and they hate his guts rightfully, they have a relationship, which is just fucking bizarre, but they do.
It's like some sort of reverse Stockholm syndrome thing going on.
Yeah. Well, it's like a two-way Stockholm syndrome, right? Like I'm sure, I mean, these two characters are kind of like, look, this dude could die anytime, like whatever. But
yeah, fuck off.
Right. Like, and it's 100% understandable, but this is common. This happens with people who are in prison for that long under the same person. Like that does in fact happen. Like I mentioned earlier, that happened between Mandela and one of his jailers. Like they grew a level of rapport with each other, like a level of respect, which is fucking wild. So, yeah, God bless. Like, couldn't be me. But maybe, look, I don't plan on being anywhere for 65 years.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that. That's true. You don't know about yourself. I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
I'm okay with hating Dillard from afar. Thank you very much.
So yeah, Ray works outside doing the gardening. Claude works inside. And he forms a relationship with Superintendent Wilkins. And Ray is like,
Ned Beatty,
you got a plan, and I want to know what it is. And Claude is like, I don't know what you're talking about, nigga. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, all right, you up to something. I know it.
And they got something on your sleeve. Look, that scene outside when after Martin gives the dude the tea and he was like, hey, garden boy, these myrtles look like they could use a little bit of fertilizer. Get to work, nigga. Why are you such an asshole to him?
That's something friends do.
Absolutely.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Absolutely. That shit was fucking hilarious to me. Yeah, and that scene where they're both going to sleep is pretty fucking funny. It's like, why can't I just sit over here and look at your ass? Yeah, to me, them as old men was probably the funniest section. Like, I could watch a movie with just those two guys in old men makeup, like just two old dudes in the city or whatever. Like, I would watch the fuck out of that movie. They're so good in these moments.
Yeah. And, we were joking about how this movie was nominated for an Academy Award, but, rightly so, it was nominated for Best Makeup.
Yeah. I don't think Eddie Murphy's makeup is that great. It's okay, but Martin's is pretty good. And Oba Babatunde's, I think, is excellent.
Is phenomenal. Like, I thought it was a different actor.
Right. The other thing is about Martin's character at this point in like age, he looks just like Grady from Sanford and Son. To me, he looks exactly like him. A young Grady.
Oh shit. Shortly after moving into the house, Claude is entrusted to drive and pick up the new superintendent, who just happens to be Sheriff Warren Pike, the same man who framed them for murder 40 years earlier. We know it's him, and he's played now by R. Lee Ermey, the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
That guy's a fucking asshole in real life.
Yeah, the guy from Full Metal Jacket. That's not Vincent D'Onofrio.
Right. Well, he's dead now, actually.
R. Lee Ermey. Yeah, I
died.
believe he is. He's an asshole in this, but like he was a drill instructor.
No, he's amazing. He was amazing in those roles. It just turns out in real life, he's a fucking asshole. Like he's a hardcore right-wing psychopath.
I mean, I'm not fully surprised. Right. You know,
turns out he wasn't acting.
Right. There's a reason why he's really, really good at the roles that he's been in.
Yeah, but I've always liked him in movies. I mean, I'll happily admit that.
I only really saw him in only really remember him in Full Metal Jacket.
You remember him in what was the fucking movie? Oh God, where he was basically the same character with Jack Black, Saving Silverman. I think it was. No. That movie is super crazy, but yeah, he's in that too. He's pretty funny.
Okay.
Saving Silverman again. Yes, yeah. Saving Silverman, which was 2 years later.
Apparently he did a lot of voice work too.
I could see that. Pretty memorable voice.
But he's like when he goes to pick up Sheriff Pike, this is the scene you're talking about, of Martin at the bus station, and he really kind of gets to look at his reflection, see how life is just like how much he's aged. Yeah. And then he sees like everybody just walking around. This is 1972, right? Like this is black people and white people are fucking walking around and you know, free love, man, and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then and it's just like it's wild to see for him, you know. And then he sees Warren Pike, and he recognizes him from the big ass scar that he had on his face.
Yep.
And you know, like we were saying, R. Lee Ermey, really good job of being a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
And they cut to a pheasant hunt, and our two heroes are rooting out the pheasant for the two white guys to shoot. And at the end of the hunt, Ray notices the pocket watch that Pike pulls out, and he realizes it's his father's pocket watch. He stole it from the guy that he killed and framed the murder on, and he confronts him about it, and he was just like, you know, where you get that watch, and you know, back and forth, and Pike is just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I should kill you right now, nigga. Yeah. And Eddie Murphy's just like, nah, yo. And he grabs that long rifle or that long shotgun, and he fucking has that shit on him. And he's like, that's my daddy's watch, nigga. I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. And,
I mean, look, you already at that point, you're like 70 years old or 65 or whatever.
Who cares?
I'd have shot him right there. Done. What you gonna do? You gonna give me life?
Right.
Execute me? Like, who cares?
And you know, they explain, he's like, you framed us, and you did this and you did that, and uh, Superintendent Wilkins is like, "Is this true?"
Surely
and
not.
Pike, and Pike is like, "Who the fuck cares, yo?" Like,
Yeah, I love that his response was like, "Does it make a difference?" Yes, yes, that is a crime. Terrible white man.
and what's his name? Pike is about to, during all the commotion, Pike, like a gun nut, pulls out another gun,
Right.
and is about to kill Eddie Murphy's character. And instinctively, Wilkins turns and kills Pike.
Yeah. Good.
Saving the two guys.
And then he of course he starts to believe that, like, oh, okay, this was serious, and obviously you guys didn't deserve what happened to you.
Yeah, and Martin is like, hey, boss. And he's like, look, I'm not your boss.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry that you had to go through all this shit. And he covers it up by saying, it was a hunting accident, and
Yeah.
those two guys were nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
and he comes to him.
So it was a Dick Cheney situation. Remember Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face and the guy apologized? That's crazy. Happened for real.
Like, how scared do you have to be of another man to be shot in the face by that dude and just be like,
My bad.
yeah, sorry, my face was in the way, bro.
Yeah. Turns out Dick Cheney was probably fucking lit. And he peppered that guy right in the face.
Yeah.
Good.
So Wilkins pulls Ray and Claude aside and said, look, man, I'm not your boss, not anymore. I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm going to give you a pardon. But can you help me to the bathroom first? Because all this excitement has got my, got my ire up. I need to sit down on the throne for a minute. And it turns out he never left that bathroom because he fucking died. He had a heart attack. So we cut to present day, which in this case is 1997. And Ray and Claude are 90. And they live in the prison's infirmary. And Claude tells Ray of another plan that he has devised. And Ray is just like, you know what? Ray, the guy who was coming up with all these plans, he's just like, you know what, yo, I'm tired. I can't deal with this. We see a quick scene of these old guys playing poker with some of the younger inmates. And one of the kids bought some drugs into it, and he taking a hit of it, and they like, and Eddie Murphy and Martin are like, hey, how you think he got that in there? Up his ass. Yeah, you smell. It's like you snorting somebody's ass drugs, nigga.
And it's so funny because like. He has to like, yeah, you kind of right. Like, this shit is fucking hilarious. No, thank you. I'm good. I don't need drugs that bad.
This dude was like, that ain't high. That's low.
That's low. These two old niggas, they are a trip, dude. They are a fucking trip.
So the one guy was like, they playing cards, right? He's like, looks like it's on you, ass sniffer.
Like, yo, old man, I'll beat you to death in here. You better knock it off.
I can't wait to get that old and just not care.
No, that's when you hang out at the Dunkin' Donuts all the time. That's what you do. You get old, you just call your homies up. Y'all all show up at Dunkin' Donuts and sit there and drink coffee and eat donuts for like 7 hours.
Right. Read the paper 4 times.
Right. Go home. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm not that mad at them. Those guys are always nice.
So so Claude's plan is that Ray and Claude would steal a couple of bodies from the morgue, start a fire, plant the bodies, and hide in the fire trucks and depart with them in the morning. Old Willie, old Babatunde, tells these younger guys that these younger guys are like, man, what happened? I guess it didn't work. What happened? Because we're burying these bodies. And Babatunde is like, I didn't say it didn't work. Like,
I never said that.
nigga, like, I don't know who you burying, but it ain't them two. And we cut to Ray and Claude at a Yankees game.
Yeah.
And like they left, they made it back to New York, and the two are living in Harlem together.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I love this ending. Like, it's a cheesy ending. It's fairly predictable.
It's an ending you see coming a mile away.
You do. But it's an ending you rooted for the entire time.
Yeah.
You wanted to see
there's nothing wrong with a cliche story if it's told well.
Yeah.
And this is told pretty well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because it's all about character at that point, right?
Yep.
Like you gotta really feel for the characters. And I did with these two.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, this is one of Martin's best roles outside of Martin. You know what I mean?
By far. Man. It's like Martin, this, and Boomerang, I would put, like, his role in Boomerang I thought was pretty good too. But like, of his movies,
right? No. Like he had a movie come out the same year.
Blue Streak?
Let me see if I can find it. I think it was Blue Streak.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Blue Streak is not good.
Yeah, it was Blue Streak.
Hey.
This is the best that I've seen Martin in a very, very long time.
But you know what? I mean, I'm sure people will say, "Oh, he's great in Bad Boys." That's fine. I don't disagree.
He's fine in Bad Boys.
Yeah, he's fine
in Bad Boys. But
he's better in Bad Boys 1 than he is in the other two, I would argue.
Yeah, especially that last one. That last one feels like he's on autopilot. Like, as much as I enjoy that last Bad Boys movie, he kind of feels like he's on autopilot.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know why exactly.
That movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. But you know what I'd like to see from Martin Lawrence? He can play a semi-serious role. He can play moments that are like, that dig in a little bit. Like, and maybe he should try. Like, I don't think he's incapable of that. Maybe he wouldn't go like full dramatic, but I could definitely see him doing some like semi-dramatic work. Like, because he pulls it off like fairly decently in these moments.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to go the way of Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah,
Eddie
that's
Murphy
fair.
Tried that, and it didn't really work, in my opinion.
No, it did not. But I like,
unless Dolomite Is My Name is like a semi-serious movie. And even then, part of that is because it's based on such an outlandish character.
Right. Again, it's going to really, I mean, what's name is in a month. Coming to America it got delayed till March. So
I'm very curious about that movie, man. I really am.
I don't know. I was on the fence that it would not be good. And then I saw Dolomite Is My Name, and I was like, you know what? That was damn good. It was a really enjoyable, funny movie, and he was very good in it. But this is his character. You're not playing somebody who existed, right? Because you can do caricatures of people who exist, and that's a different level of work. But, Prince Hakeem is his character. So is he going to be able to still bring it? I don't know. I hope he does. I still think that movie should be rated R. I think that's the biggest mistake, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, especially now that it's on streaming. Just make it rated R. Like, there's no reason to make it PG-13.
Yeah, this movie, Life, I feel like this movie is underrated.
It feels incredibly underrated.
And I really, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It doesn't do what you think it's going to do. It subverts your expectations.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people did not appreciate that.
Yeah.
But,
and I could see people who enjoyed it back in 99 watching it now and catching all that and be like, damn, okay, that was a little bit more serious than I thought it was. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, like if you've seen it, give it another look. And if you've never seen it, definitely watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max if you have HBO Max, by the way. All right. That's it for us, episode 187. We'll be back next week for a preview episode for episode 188.
See you.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.